common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag.
Had to triple my bag.
Wow.
Had to triple my bag.
Wow.
Had to triple my bag.
Yeah.
Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Duo live show here at Learn Crypto, your one-stop shop for crypto and stock technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and news. Make sure to smash that like, share, and subscribe button before we get started. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
The man with the plan, taking us all to Lambo land. We are sitting in cash on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Coinbase. How long are we going to sit on this cash? Because it's burning a hole in my pocket. Is everything going to zero? It sure feels like it with our altcoin portfolio, but at least we do have cash for these large caps and looking to make yet another profitable trade. What's going on, Todd?
Yeah, sitting in cash, looking still for lower. Charts do not look that good, so we'll go over them here in a minute, but let's look for a little lower.
Let's take a look quickly at CoinGecko, and then, of course, Todd will go over the large caps, and then we'll see what's going on in the chat box, or maybe we'll talk about some altcoins or some news. Not much big news today, that's for sure, but we see here on CoinGecko, the past 7 days have not been great. Bitcoin 101,423 down 5.2%. And like I said, altcoins are floundering. Ethereum down 10.7%. BNB down 11.5%. And Solana, the worst of the big guys, down 13.7%. Biggest gainers, though, continues to be the privacy sector. Dash up 166%. Internet Computer ICP up 147, Zcash up 74, and I'm not sure what Zen is up. It doesn't show on this because this is only the top 100, but Zen is around $20 as well. So the privacy sector remains hot. That maybe is something you need to look deeper into, Todd. Maybe I know you have some of those sector analysis tooling. Maybe we can dive into that, maybe not in this live show, but the next live show. But interesting to see. And then the worst performers, Athena, OKX's exchange token, Hydra, Wrapped Solana, which is essentially Solana, and World Liberty Finance continues its slide down 13.9% for the week. Like I said, not a lot of news. Privacy coins are the only thing doing anything. Bitcoin down, Ethereum down, crypto stocks down. Oh my gosh, Todd, is the world ending? Do we need to sell all of our crypto and go into hibernation? Show me some charts. Change my mind.
All right, the usual Bitcoin chart in front of us. As you know, I've been looking a little bearish. I mean, if we go to some Elliott Wave, or excuse me, go to our Wyckoff labeling, I mean, definitely looks like we had the buying climax, and then we had what looks like is that up thrust after distribution. I think that was Sailor up there buying into that up thrust. And then, you know, you've got a line here you could put, which was the automatic reaction. And then we did have that last point of supply. I mean, that's sign of weakness, last point of supply. So with this, I mean, we probably got downside objectives more to 85 to 95 if we're going from the last point of supply or the up thrust. So again, it still looks a little bit lower for Elliott Wave. I thought maybe I showed from the LPSY we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're needing a 5-wave down now. You can see volume has been in a downdraft since the May highs, so continued liquidation there. I guess that would probably be the OGs and the whales selling into the retail ETFs, but I'm hoping for that to get climactic on the downside and give us the low we've been wanting. So that's hopefully the ideal scenario.
And yeah, that was Michael Saylor up there buying on the up thrust. He was buying that breakout with size, and then that ended up being the exact top.
Right, definitely bought that with size. Got the shakeout here, and again, we're you know, the close here in a few hours could be the lowest close we've had now, going back closely, really going back to that May. So we had good sell volume coming in here, not much on the rallies, so it still looks like we have lower to go. Ethereum, same type of thing. I tried to trade that to put a little money in our pockets to buy still lower. Technometer 42.43. Again, nothing to add there. Quickly XRP, same type of thing. Topped out up there 265, which really was fall through the ice, rally back to the ice, and then trying the downside again. While we're here, we're going to check Zen. These privacy coins still look pretty well. You can see volume still down here near the lows. I think those will head higher, but we also could have some rotation once things firm up in the rest of the alt world here. So those still look good, but you know,
yeah, it's pretty
easy
impressive,
money
I
was
guess.
made.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, I guess, how the privacy coins have held in there, even though Bitcoin and Ethereum have been just dogs. And it goes to ask, when do people give up on those as well and take profits? I don't know. We shall see. Obviously, they're trying to hold their strength until Bitcoin and ETH find a bottom, and then maybe they get that explosive move higher, and then we should rotate out. But it's tough to know. Like I said, we're in cash on Bitcoin, sold it higher, sold Ethereum higher, sold Solana higher. We sold Coinbase stock at $369. It's currently $298. We are holding Zen. We had multiple buys that we gave you on the live show between $6, $8, and $10, and we're still staying long on that to have exposure to these markets in case we miss the low here.
Yeah, Tom. Sell 500. All right, bye.
Looks like Todd's got something going on over there, guys. He'll sell that.
Sorry about that. I got to do a quick trade here.
If you want to toss me the screen, then.
Nothing going on in the chat at the moment. We still have the viewers there. A lot going over on Twitter, but let me grab you the screen. Let me get this trade done.
Nice, nice. And this is a pulse chain here. Today, amidst the downturn in Bitcoin and Ethereum, Richard Hart teased that a new pulse chain product or project will be launching tomorrow within 24 hours. And that has sentiment pretty good on that chain. PLS is actually up 5%, PLSX up 5%, Inc up 6.2%, and Hex up 3% on that information. Even though, again, Bitcoin and ETH are back at their lows, the only thing green today is privacy tokens, of which we own Zen, and pulse chain. Now, that doesn't mean these things are out of the water and aren't going to be, you know, subjected to the downturn in Bitcoin or Ethereum if Bitcoin drops below $100,000. But it is good to see some strength over on these assets and on these networks. If anybody in the chat box has any ideas on what you think the product that Richard Hart is hinting or teasing, let me know in the comment section on Twitter or YouTube. I think it might be something to do with privacy. He's talked about one privacy product or a privacy protocol on Pulse Chain. And now, if you're trying to get people to FOMO and join the Pulse Chain revolution, now is as good a time as ever to release that product, because like we said, privacy narrative and privacy sector in crypto is the only thing green. Yes, that is Zcash, that is Dash, that is ICP, that is Zen. And right now it is focused on, hey, Zcash is the privacy Bitcoin. It's the privacy cash. But next, I think the market shifts to utility tokens within the privacy protocol sector, in which you can do tooling, products, protocol level things other than just cash that are all related to privacy. And maybe that is what Richard Hart has up his sleeve to launch here tomorrow. Todd, you done trading over there? I hear a lot of bings and bongs and loop-de-doops. I mean, is that club music or is that your trading view? I don't know what's going on over there.
No, I'm still busy here. Hold on. I'm gonna let you keep it here for a minute. Yeah. I'm having a problem.
Here's the Coinbase trade that we had going on over at patreon.com/learncrypto. Again, if you zoom out, we have not had a single losing trade on Coinbase ever. Not once, not ever. We took profits again back here in early October, about a month ago, at $369. And of course, it looks like Coinbase is working on an A down, a B up, and a C down, back onto support on this moving average. But we do not have an oversold RSI. So we can pull the trigger here and buy back for 19 or 20% lower. But again, if Todd is seeing potential weakness in Bitcoin, we do not have oversold on Coinbase. And really, you're going on buying right with the moving average. And that's not that strong of a buy signal. If we go out to the daily, you can see here the moving averages are still quite a bit lower. Another 3% to 7% drop potentially in Coinbase before you get to the next moving average and potentially an oversold RSI and technometer. So again, we sold at 370. We're not in a real hurry, but hopefully you can join us at patreon.com/learncrypto if you want these kind of trades in real time. We've never once lost on a Coinbase trade. And once again, we sold a local top.
I'm back. I'm still a little busy, but not much going on at the chat. What's up?
Jasper saying, hey, what's going on, Jasper? What's going on, Carrie Butterfield? And the Wise Tent in the house saying, hey, boys, we are here. Hit that like button. We're going over the markets. Again, a lot of people are tuning out because market sentiment is very low, but we wanted to get on here and do a little bragging because, again, we sold Bitcoin, we sold ETH, we sold Solana, we sold Coinbase, and the list goes on. And we stayed long on Zen. And Zen, at the midst of this downturn, has literally done over a 2x. Now, it isn't the 6x out of Zcash or the 4x out of Dash, but hey, we'll take the 2x on the one asset that we did hold here. And do you want to mention GDEN? If anybody in the Patreon Discord or the stock Discord and wondering what happened with GDEN, they did get bought out, and you're getting kind of $30 of value per share. So if you still hold that, you're about break even. You're probably up a little bit due to dividend payouts. I think it's probably smart to get rid of that bag. I don't know if you have a different thought or opinion on that, Todd, but I did go ahead and sell like 95% of my position, and I'm holding 5% just to kind of see what happens.
Yep, I gave that sell this morning right after the opening.
There you go. It essentially opened, I believe, around 29, 27, got as high as $30.05, and is currently $28.75. Again, you're supposed to be getting about $30 per share in value, but that's at current prices, and the deal probably won't get done until mid-2026. So we think it's better just to kind of step aside, take our small gains, and move along.
I'm going to take over the chart here for a minute, answer this ADA. I mean, there's the ADA chart. You can see here. And then you can see same type of thing. Major sell volume coming in. While price is holding basically sideways. I mean, it did spring this level. As I said, I thought it would. I thought it'd break down below 50 and spring the area. The technometer 39.48. It'd be nice to see it a little bit lower. I mean, if I'm right about Bitcoin, I mean, possibly this thing could spike down to 45, 46 or something. But the low could be in. So I think maybe dollar cost average, maybe put some on here and then grab a little bit more as it works a little bit lower. Bitcoin 101 down 28.50, so we're nearing the lows of the day again. Ethereum 33.12 down 112. Dow must be Dow's down 260. Nasdaq down 320. So the stocks still holding up off their lows of the day, while Bitcoin coming back down here near the lows. So still not very good price action.
Yeah, PTGC, our favorite altcoin on Pulse Chain that we got involved with at 1 and 2 million and so many more buys from that level, is back to $57 million market cap, higher than any buy we've ever given, and is bouncing off the lower end of its consolidation zone. A 171% rally puts it to the upper end of that zone. And last time it found its low, it actually rallied 243% in the matter of 27 days. So is the low end for PTGC. It definitely looks like a double bottom at the lower end of consolidation with some good Pulse Chain news. Now, again, if Ethereum and Bitcoin want to do another break, it could put some short-term pressure on Pulse Chain, which puts pressure on PTGC. But if you have not gotten a bag of PTGC, you didn't buy at 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 20 or $30 million market caps, this is a double bottom at that $57 million mark. And I think you could probably look to grab a bag whenever we get a little more bullish on the network as a whole and really Ethereum and Bitcoin. But again, the lower end of that range is right around probably a 50 million market cap. It's up 10% today at $57 million market cap. I am planning on doing a short form video on WPLS, or PLS, Pulse Chain's technical analysis. We were dead spot on with our inverse head and shoulders that hit the measured move and it sold off. And now it looks like we might even be forming a head and shoulders within a head and shoulders. If that is the case and we can break the neckline, then we have much higher objectives. So Patreon members, you'll get that first if you want to make a trade on PLS itself. and then the public will get that short form video maybe tonight or tomorrow. I do have the golf league tonight, Todd. It's a celebration. I got second place in the league, but we did get a completely free 2 bays at the 5 Iron indoor facility in Clayton, Missouri. They're hosting our league end party, so I'm gonna be going to that here in a few hours. Hopefully I'm swinging okay. I just ate some pizza, feeling a little heartburn coming on.
Party on, Garth. Not much else here going on. Bitcoin 101, 2,800 down for the day. So
look at that ZEC chart. Pull that thing out. My God, that is a thing of beauty. Holy cow. I don't know. The thing is, the whole narrative around privacy right now is people's like, hey, remember in 2017 when we all got rich off of crypto if you were early? The whole narrative was that Bitcoin was digital private cash. And now we know that Bitcoin is not private. It also was about getting rid of middlemen. And now Bitcoin is all about middlemen. Institutions are on board. It's, you know, it's going to be heavily invested via spot ETFs. And both of those things still exist with Zcash. And what's also interesting about Zcash, it has the exact same total supply of 21 million, the exact same halving cycle every 4 years. And it kind of goes back to the original mantra and thought of what Bitcoin is. And that's the narrative people are running with. What Bitcoin was supposed to be, Zcash. That's it. That's the narrative. That's what's driving price. And remember, privacy coins under Biden got a beating from regulation. They wanted to kill them. Remember, Horizon even made privacy optional due to fears of regulation. Well, under Trump, privacy's fair game. Give us your trading volume. Give us your taxes. Have privacy is okay with us. So pretty wild to see what's going on and seeing how quickly this narrative shifting. Nobody was talking about Zcash, and it's up, I think, 11 or 12x in just the past few months.
yeah, unbelievable. 10x off that 40-50 low. I mean, it's the charts underneath my broadcast. I mean, we had the big divergences down there at the lows. I mean, coming into that low at 50. But, I mean, the rally since then has been unbelievable. So, unbelievable and quick.
Any other questions, comments, concerns out there? I guess if you want to take a look at, I don't know, what other charts do we usually look at that people ask about?
I mean, I go to crypto-related stocks here. I could do that real quick.
I'm sure they're all down today with the weakness in Bitcoin and ETH because crypto-related stocks primarily are tied to those two assets versus the broader altcoin market.
I mean, let me go to a few of those here. Let me blow up the screen. I mean, I mentioned cores before that I had sold early. It did come back down even below my sell price, so some selling in the last 4 or 5 days. Sitting here at 2078, that's one I'll look at here again. MicroStrategy taking out, all these coins are taking out some of the fluff and making them only worth their crypto holdings. MicroStrategy 238, I talked about selling that up there at 300. That's one I'll look at here again shortly, but charts don't look good. Coin 297. Again, we talked about that up there at 370. Moving out of that, so that one needs bought back here shortly. SBET. Need to kind of blow that one up to get a better feel for it. There's the SBET coming under pressure again. Looking to buy that back here shortly. BMNR, same type of thing. Talking about up there around 53 where I thought we'd come back down with Bitcoin. Here we are below 38. Not much really to add on technometers or volume price, etc. So I think for me, I just got to watch those, see how Bitcoin acts down here at that 98,000 level and see what we can do.
Wait and see. The first people that will find out what we do will be at patreon.com/learncrypto. Join at $1 a day. Keeps the banker away. And again, we have cash ready to deploy. If you don't have cash, it's still probably good to join because you'll know our thoughts. Maybe you'll be able to rotate your portfolio around. Maybe you got cash in some stocks portfolios, which, you know, we do give trades on Coinbase and MicroStrategy and Mara and Riot and SharpLink Gaming, and the list goes on, all related to the crypto markets as well. So we'll be definitely giving some buys on those in the near term, I am assuming, as Ethereum can only go so low, and we believe the cycle will continue, even if we do have a sell-off in Bitcoin to 85 to 95,000, and that would probably mean Ethereum goes below $3,000 if that happened, huh, Todd?
Sorry, I'm doing another trader for a client.
This guy. If Bitcoin goes to your 85 to 95K, if it sells off for fifth wave, where does that put Ethereum? Below 3?
I mean, probably down there. I think 2,800 is a level that I noticed earlier with some LA wave stuff, I believe. So yeah, probably 2,800, which would be quite a bit lower.
That is wild. I'm scrolling the Twitter feed and there's literally nothing. No big stories. Maybe I'm missing something. But today is not the day for stories, news, or speculation. It's the day of privacy go up, Pulse chain hints from Richard Hart, and Bitcoin and Ethereum go down. That's the news today, guys. And we are still sitting in cash. We have not deployed our funds yet. It doesn't mean that the low isn't in, but there's no easy buy signal to be triggered on the chart just yet.
Hold on 1 second, then I'm going to go over a few individual equities that I'm looking at or got a position on, etc. But I still got to do a trade here.
We do manage crypto accounts and stock accounts. Go to learncrypto.io to learn more, or cryptopcg.com. You can figure that out. And that's what Todd is doing over there, managing an account while live on air. The dedication.
Crazy. All right, let's go to a few things here. A few equities. Merck, I mentioned in the stock Discord. That one had a nice little Wyckoff labeling here. We had the jump and the backup. We had this ABC down. I did catch that. Gave it by around 82.79, I think it was. No real divergences between price and volume or a solid oversold reading. So I didn't get what I normally want, but I did jump on that. It's up to 86.10. That was alarm hit a little bit ago. That one I think we'll probably dig out of here. I think I mentioned Rambus Live a couple days ago showing this triangle. Now here we do have, you can see volume trending down sharply while price did a high level pork blaster. So that one could be a pork blaster coming out of this range here. He was oversold. You can see the stocks coming under pressure. That one holding right in. So that is one that I think could rock and roll to 125, 130 real quick if these markets don't continue lower in the general stock market. So that's something to look at. MOD is another one, Modine Manufacturing. I kind of like the looks of this. You can see same type of thing, volume coming down sharply, price hitting higher lows. Technometers touching oversold. That one I think resolves to the upside. Earnings are behind us, no big deal. NTRA I mentioned, but that one's got earnings I think tonight at the close, so be careful here. But same thing, volume coming down, price actually jumping resistance. So I would love for earnings to be good, stock come off a little bit, then I probably would pick that one up. MPWR is another one. Buy divergences. FN up here in the stratosphere, but still looks like it has higher to go. COHR is one that I had 2 days ago. It already took off today. That one left me in the dust. MTZ is another one that could be good. So those are just some ideas I'm looking at, or maybe small positions on that I'll jump on maybe here in the next few days.
There you go. The Wise 10 says, thanks for the updates. Keep these coming. Hexbull says, let's go PTGC to the moon. Yeah, it's up like 12% now on the day, even with Pulse Chain only up about single digits and Ethereum down single digits. So that's good to see for sure. That is about all I think we got today, guys. You had your chance. You got 30 seconds to ask a question, comment, or concern. Otherwise, we're wrapping it up. And you're going to have to watch a commercial because you need to join us at patreon.com/learncrypto or follow us over on Twitter for more free stuff. But again, the people that are winning are those in the Discord group who are sitting in cash for Bitcoin, for Solana, for Ethereum, for Coinbase, who are still long on Zen. And the list goes on and on and on and on.
I'm going to show one more chart before I get out of here. Hold on. I keep mentioning this here in the last week or so. XLE, Energy Select ETF. You can see volume continuing to turn lower here, and price continues to hit higher lows. I mean, that one looks like it wants to resolve to the upside, acting very well the last few days here while the markets are coming under pressure. So, you know, a rally above that 89.55 level or so turns this chart higher, and something above 92.50 starts to turn it much, much higher. So that's one to watch. You know, with that in mind, NBR is one I mentioned here a few times. It's holding in as well. Did had the jump and the backup, and you can see here, same type of thing. You got the volume, and this trading volume is coming down. That means there's sell volume. Price is supporting it higher, jumps resistance, backs up to it, and that was there at that 40 to 42 level, and here we are at 52. And as you can see, here oversold again today, even though we're up here at 52 even. That one looks higher. So
Jasper says, Todd, how many trades do you take per day, week, month on average? And I guess that's for both patreon.com/learn crypto members, or if we are managing your stock or crypto account. I already know the answer to this, but I'll let you answer it.
How many trades do you take? I mean, I guess it matters, stocks, crypto, whatever. I mean, and I got some clients that we jump on every idea, every thought of an idea, because maybe we have profits, you know, over the years, etc. So some people I trade active, some not as active. Really matters what a client wants. Crypto, I mean, you know, doing the Bitcoin, Ethereum, throw in a few other trades. I did give a smaller cap. I like the way it's setting up in the last few days. So that's a hard answer. I mean, normally I'm buying and looking for a position that's good for 3 weeks to 3 months. On the stock side is what I'm really looking for. So, but I have added momentum scans to my stock Discord, so that's kicking out a ton of ideas. I'm not taking a lot of those still yet, ones that I like I am, but otherwise I really need a reset, I think, in momentum stocks to take the risk out, and then I would start jumping on momentum scan stocks. So we get a bunch of those, really a bunch of those daily. So that's something to look at in the future.
Brandon Thomas says, what level do you need to break to confirm a bear market for BTC? I don't think it's so much a level. I'll let Todd give his analysis on what would be a fifth wave down. I don't think we're in a bear market for BTC just because the macro is telling you otherwise. I think the only way you can say, all right, well, that was it, we're going to the doldrums again, is if, in fact, some of the data that's coming in that help. I know that Jerome Powell said we're switching off QT December 1st, going to QE, cutting rates in December. We've already cut rates twice. But if he switches that up and QT stays on and then they even increase the rates, which is now the rumor on the street, I think that would put things in quite a winter for quite a while.
I mean, yeah, 125 to 100. I mean, that's already bear market territory. So, and that's why I've been really trying to stay out of trouble with Bitcoins. I didn't like the setups at the highs. I did think we was doing some type of distribution. I do think the downside is much more limited. And the reason I'm probably not way more bullish on Bitcoin here is I'm worried the stocks are still overpriced and starting to get sloppy. I mean, that's not been the case. I mean, the stocks right themselves after a couple of days down. We have had, 5 or 6 days down now, and we're closing not the best today in 30 minutes. So I'm worried the stocks have further downside, and that keeps the pressure on Bitcoin. But I think below 98 grand, Bitcoin gets a spike, and then I'm looking for that to show outperformance versus stocks until it's Bitcoin's bottoming, and then at some point stocks will bottom. So
what levels do we need to support to confirm Bitcoin is going back up and not just going to zero here?
I mean, like 74,000 is a line in the sand probably for saying a major top's in, but that's still another 25% lower. So I'm looking for low risk entries and then see how the rally looks. If the rallies aren't strong, then we keep stair stepping lower. But somewhere here, I'm sure we'll wipe out some of these ETF holders. We need to wipe out ETF holders. So you get a shitty close today, maybe another one Friday, and everyone gets worried in the weekend. Maybe at some point here we finally get a little bit of liquidation from retail, and that gives us our low. So
Hex Bull said, did gold top? I did do a video talking about the great rotation the day of the high for gold at $4,400. That ended up being the local top. And the very next day at the time was the exact bottom of Bitcoin, where we went from 103,000 to 116,000. So that video is right there, right then. Now, What are your thoughts on gold here, Todd? I think that was a major top for gold. Now, I don't think it just goes to doom and gloom, but I do think we have a multi-month consolidation, just like we saw earlier this year between like April and August. I think we're looking at the same thing. I think that 4,400, not only did it get there once and went there 2 days later, creating a double top, people FOMOing, lined up around the corners trying to buy physical gold. And then, of course, we've had this steep sell-off from 4,400 to below 4,000.
I mean, I'll show the chart here. I was short gold with losses because I thought it would stop way before it did. So I did cover my shorts here. Let's really make that green color. I didn't go long. I was covering shorts. I have some type of sideways here. We have had that. I mean, maybe it topped today, maybe work higher for a week. I wanted another sell-off somewhere down here in the low 60s in GDX type of thing. You've got this triangle back here, which is strong support. So we could have another, smash down to 335 on GLD. I'm not sure that's in the cards. I mean, personally, I think still gold probably has higher highs in it. And I want to be a buyer on some setup lower from here. So
yeah, and if you're looking at it, if you're looking at that ABC type of correction, you're probably looking at spot prices closer to like $3,600 to $3,800, with downside major support at like $3,500 spot. For those of you who don't look at the chart that Todd does, but you're looking at actual gold spot prices because that's what you see in real life, that's probably how that correlates.
Let me.
But again, don't fall asleep on the lag of Bitcoin to gold. It's 80-day lag, which means that Bitcoin should be heading up, not down, by middle to end of November. If history is gonna repeat itself like it has many times in the past. Also, like I said, the exact top of gold, 4,400. The very next day was the exact bottom of Bitcoin at 103 before it ran to 116, while gold sold off to like 3,900. So we'll see if that trend continues. Obviously, we have a lot of weakness in stocks. You have a potential 5 waves that Todd is showing, which would mean a new low for Bitcoin below that 99,000 level, and a new low for Ethereum closer to that $3,000 level. So we'll see what happens here.
I mean, here's the gold futures chart at the COMEX. So yeah, same type of thing. This triangle support was down there at 3,400. Probably some support at 3,650. So personally, I'd like to see a break down to 3,600. I think down there you want to start averaging back in and see if we can go to new highs again. But that's way far ahead in the future.
Gold moves slower than crypto assets, guys. Understand that. It's a $30 trillion asset. Crypto is worth $3 trillion. So, when Todd says, hey, that could be way in the future, it could take gold a little while to get down to that 36 and really find its footing before we're like, all right, ABC completed, time to go long. Remember, it ranged, last time it topped in April, it topped out at 3,500, went as low as 3,100, and went sideways in that range from April, the first week of April, to the last week of August. That's perfectly normal for gold, and then gold broke out in August, going from 3,300 to 4,400 over the course of a few months.
Markets are kind of sideways. Bitcoin still 101. And also for clients, the reason I'm trading right now is I've also got clients that will trade intraday all day long. So, and they use me for quick, good fills because they know I'm sitting here at my desk entrenched in this shit. So
they're sitting down at the local pub getting the ideas from the bartender and then calling Todd up, hey, sell me 500,000 shares of copper.
Day trade a lot of SPY, UNG, natural gas, XLE, USL. Day trade a lot of ETFs, don't really day trade a lot of stocks like that. Stocks, I'm really trying to pick positions for 3 weeks to 3 months.
Another kind of silly indicator that the cycle is not over, for me at least, is amidst this like privacy sector, privacy narrative run up, Litecoin has really tried pushing itself as actually a privacy coin. Got its monologue changed, like its classification changed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. You got Charlie Lee talking about how they're going to add privacy features, or there is privacy features on Litecoin. Yet Litecoin is following the trend down and not catching the privacy trend. I know it's silly, but that's actually a good thing, because usually when Litecoin starts going euphoric and starts outperforming, that marks the top in the cycles. The cycle is over, altcoin season is over, and the bear market is right around the corner. So the fact that Litecoin is doing everything it can to try to be reclassified as a privacy coin and privacy cash and get into the privacy narrative and sector that is ripping and roaring right now, the market is not eating that up. I know it sounds silly, but I think that's another reason why the market is not over. We're just in a normal intra-market correction, and we can still head higher. People forget in 2017, there was like 4 or 5 drawdowns that were between 20 to 35% on Bitcoin on the way up from $500 to $20,000. There was 4 or 5 20% plus drawdowns. Right now, I think we're at, what, a 22% drawdown or something like that, Todd? So not out of the realm of a bull market drawdown here on Bitcoin just yet.
Right. We got to run that disclaimer real quick. Hold on.
There's a high degree of risk involved in trading stocks and cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
Alrighty.
Jasper said, I thought LTC starts alt season. No, never. Ethereum starts alt seasons. Maybe Litecoin started an alt season back in like 2016, 2017 because there was only like 10 tokens. But no, Litecoin usually when it starts getting euphoric and starts running, the end is near. Litecoin is, man, when you look at the zoomed out chart, it is really interesting. Obviously, Charlie Lee isn't very active, and Litecoin just kind of doing its thing, has its own liquidity base. But Litecoin hasn't literally gone to a new all-time high since the 2017 cycle, where Litecoin was in all of our portfolios. I think Litecoin at the time, correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, we had it as something like a 5 to 15% portfolio holding because it was one of the top dogs, and it literally ran in 2017 from $3 to as high as $400, and never once has it gotten to a new all-time high ever since.
I think when we first started that in 2016, I think we were buying it at 14, sold it a day later, 28. I mean, it was just like the moves were incredible.
Yeah, literally, you could have got involved with crypto March of 2017, and it was around like $4 or $5 Litecoin. And by the end of that year in November, it was $450 Litecoin, marking an all-time high forever. It's crazy.
Started trading Ripple at a half a penny. XLM USD, we will look at that here in a minute.
Mark Lane in the house. Jasper said I was there during that time, but I'm still broke. Hey, it takes a couple cycles to kind of figure out. Look, I could have made a lot more money than I have as well, and we've been here in the trenches. But, you know, you live and you learn. There's ups, there's downs. It's a volatile market, so can't win on everything.
Real quick. I mean, this chart's a little funky with the liquidation low, which I think, again, probably bring that up to the 30 level or so. So I think we're setting new lows for the move down here now. Volume has continued into new lows as of today. So, you know, I think these are trying to make lows, but again, I think they got to be traded. I mean, hopefully we'll get an Ethereum buy here. You can pick up XLM at the same time, and then we're going to see how these rallies look out of here, whether altcoins are going to finally dig in and have us get a big rally or not. So
XLM, remember that in 2017 too? Everybody wanted XRP. We rolled the XRP up. We sold out of it, and then we said we preferred XLM. XLM started outperforming XRP, and now we own neither of them and trade them like once a year around their Swell conference and whatever the other conference is called. Interesting times. How things change, huh? But I will say XRP is still the blue-collar worker, no-coiner, first go-to. Everybody we talk to, we're like, oh, you're in crypto? What do you think of XRP? It literally happens every time. So they did something right with marketing. How do we replicate that for some real crypto projects? That's what we need to figure out. Imagine if all of that hype and liquidity from no-coiners, blue-collar workers, grandma and grandpas, instead of buying into XRP just for them to be dumping billions and billions and billions onto that chart, if they put that economic energy into, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other altcoins that we like, where would those prices be?
I remember back in the day, what was the one coin there in 2016 at 10x, like in a week, and everybody had it. Dang.
Verge, XVG, when they made their partnership with Pornhub?
You know, I think it was XVG. I had clients giving me 10 grand of that shit, and it was 100 grand like in 2 weeks.
And that was one of the big things. We had the crypto clients, and that thing went to 10, whatever, 100 grand. We would sell it, and the next day they would buy it back. They're like, no, it's going higher. And then what do you know? Drops 90%. Your 10K went from 10 to 150 back to 10 or 8 or 7 or 6, and they leave the private client group and blame you, even though you sold the high and they bought it back the next day later.
I sold like 30%, and most clients bought it right back. Been a wild run since late 2016.
Mark Lane said, or Neo. Neo was one of the first that we hit big on, because it was actually called Ant Shares, and they were rebranding from Ant Shares to Neo, and that was going to be the Chinese Ethereum. Made a fortune on that. I think I put, I don't know, $5,000 into it or something. And what was it, like 2 weeks later, Todd? It was like $90,000 or $95,000. Wild. Wish I would have. We sold some of that, but then he rolled into something else, and you know how the game goes. Wish we would have kept it all in hindsight, but yeah, that is crazy. What is Neo up to? I think it's still active. I just haven't looked at it in forever. But yeah, the theory on that was the Chinese Ethereum, and the rebranding of Ant Shares to Neo sent that thing soaring.
It went from like December 2017, it was around 30, went to 200, back down to basically $5, back to 140, and we're sitting down here below $5 again at the lows.
Wild rides. But I will tell you, what we need back in the crypto market is speculation, believers, diamond hands, and utility. Because right now, full of gamblers, degenerates, pump tires, meme coins. You need real utility. You need innovation. You need to think that blockchain is going to change the world, because, and the matter of the fact is, we thought we'd be way more advanced by now. But if you look back and you think about it, you kind of have changed the world. DeFi, as you know it, didn't exist. Decentralized exchanges didn't exist. All these new mobile wallets didn't exist and were banned on Apple and Google. You didn't have institutional adoption. You didn't have regulated stable coins. So a lot of what we believed in, the sunshine, the fairy tales, the unicorns, a lot of it in reality has sticking power. Just many things have failed. It's kind of like the dot-com bubble. There was 100 projects with promises, and only 3 have survived till today. But if you look back on usability back then compared to usability now, there has been quite a bit of advancements, regulated, insured APR for DeFi yield, and the list goes on. So we are heading in the right direction. We just need to get those vibes back. Believe in something. Hold something for more than a day. It isn't about the 2x on Fartcoin. It's about changing the world of blockchain technology and being early investors into a new investment asset class that has literally outperformed everything in human history.
Jasper says he's going to get a loan if alt season doesn't happen and Bitcoin comes down. You took a loan of, what was it, 3,500 live on air, you were bragging?
Yeah, 3,500 live on air, refinanced the house. So wish I would have bought more Bitcoin. But yeah, refinanced the house, paid off all debt, went long at 3,500. And that was when everybody said Bitcoin was going to zero. Well, that ended up being the exact low. And then Todd said we'll never see 6,000 Bitcoin again, on the way up to having 14 buys from 3,500 to like 14,000. And that was the only time in history we ever said sell everything, even your hodl bags, was at the 14K high right before China banned Bitcoin, and it went down to $7,000. Good times, a lot of big wins, and we're hopefully going to get on that once again. This cycle has just been a little harder. A lot of chop, a lot of uncertainty with the presidential election and tariff FUD, and altcoins never really having an alt season. And when we did, it was pump fun meme coins where you had to flip them in an hour if you wanted to make money. Will we get that utility season back, Todd? Will we get those vibes back? Believers, the financial future here in crypto, or is it going to be about Fartcoin, Buttcoin, Titcoin, and Bitcoin?
And Mama, was it Iggy's mom, or what is it they were talking about today?
Yeah, fucking Iggy's ass coin, or whatever the fuck.
And then what, tonight, or we also had the spacesuits out at that point too.
Oh yeah.
They're back here in the drawer behind me. We'll pop them out one of these days.
We should have wore those on the Halloween party. That's what we should have done. God damn it. We'll have to wait till next year, because the extending of the cycle will be going on, and we'll be getting FOMO and froth by the end of next year when nobody thought it was possible. And once we break the spacesuits out, guys, hit the sell button and tell us, hey, show me this clip so I can hit some of the sell button too, all right?
I'll wear my snow beast when the bear market bottoms, and we'll kill them live on air.
Too funny.
My Halloween outfit was off the chain.
I need to borrow that. Well, it's good to reminisce. We went over the Bitcoin charts. We went over the Ethereum charts. They look like they want to go a little lower. Privacy sector has been strong. And you know what Todd says, Wyckoff likes to buy strength. I mean, if the markets ever flip here and those privacy coins are still that strong, you would have to assume they're going to catch a bid higher. I mean, because liquidity will be coming back into the market. And we are seeing strength out of Pulse Chain, up 5% today. I'm going to do a little short form content on that one. And with that being up 5%, we do see Surf up about the same, PTGC up 12%. And some of those assets are coming to life. Again, you can only swim upstream for so long. If Ethereum does drop and this protocol that Richard Hart's hinting at that's launching tomorrow isn't something spectacular or brings real utility, I wouldn't be surprised if those kind of catch up to Ethereum, but to the downside.
Bitcoin down 3,100. Things are pretty quiet. What we got? The Dow down 390, where we kind of have been. Not a very good close. NASDAQ down 430.
I mean, Bitcoin's close to testing the lows again, down to $100,800.
10 minutes to go. So, personally, I hope we get a little shitty close here and some price action tomorrow that's not well. Let's see what happens over the weekend, and maybe we can ring the bell for some buying. So, we will see if we can do that here closely, and then we will...
I know I find myself in between here. I know we got cash for Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, Coinbase, but it never feels good. I know the community's not having fun. We're not having as much fun, but like you said, if we can pick this next low and then start having fun again, that's what it's all about. That's how you make the money. The wealth is made in red candles, not in greens, folks. Don't forget that.
And again, I just shared a little coin in the short-term chat area that, man, the Wyckoff setup looks really good on that one. So I think that's one to watch here in the days ahead. So I'm not going to give too much information now. We'll get on that once it gets up 30, 40%. Then we'll start pushing it.
Join us, patreon.com/learncrypto. If you want that 30 to 40% early, then the public will get here on the live show.
Haven't went over Dash yet. Not much to add on that one. Let me go back to that chart. I mean, here we are consolidating between 100 and 150. Not much to add. I guess, again, if I'm bullish on Ethereum, I probably would try that. If it doesn't act well, I probably would cut it because money might run out of the privacy coins once everything else turns up. So I think I'd be careful.
There you go. I think that's about all we got today, folks. Hopefully you join us in Discord or over on Twitter to keep talking to us. Until then, we'll probably be live again tomorrow, especially if we get a sell-off that we want. If we're picking up some lows, we'll see what happens there.
That's it. Bitcoin 100,850 down 3,000. Ethereum 3302 down 122. So we're going to end the show and, like Nick said, be here tomorrow. So
I got to get some stretching in for the simulator golf tonight. Here we go.
You're funny. All right, we're out.